This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by
Next 1000.
So there's certainly very few of them.
Was this pro-liberty New Hampshire cop harassed by a homophobic co-worker? And if so, did his harassment have anything to do with the fact that he is a member of law enforcement against prohibition?
This is a great country.
Epping police officer Brad Jardis is considered the most openly pro-liberty cop in New Hampshire. He's a vocal opponent of the war on drugs who's been featured in newspapers. And my understanding is he is straight. So why did this allegedly appear on his locker one day? Well, that's what a public hearing in Epping aims to determine. I called Epping Police Chief Gregory Dodge to get his comment on the situation, and he immediately returned my call. My recording setup is not working with the phone, so I just interviewed him without recording or asking permission to record. He indicated sort of a lack of knowledge regarding the cartoon, which Jardis says was placed on his locker by another cop. I kind of got the impression he, was acknowledging some second-hand knowledge of it, but not any first-hand knowledge. I asked him if it was true that Jardis had been slated for 6 days of unpaid suspension. He said he couldn't comment on that because it was a personnel matter, couldn't directly comment on it, but he said that when that kind of penalty is meted out, it usually has something to do with violations of the department's policies and procedures. Then he said I could read between the lines. I asked him if Bradley Jardis had been harassed at his department. His answer was something to the effect of, "That's what the hearing is meant to determine." He said the date of the hearing is not yet set, which is consistent with what I heard on freekeen.com. Jardis was the first active law enforcer in the United States to join Law Enforcement Against Prohibition, an organization which has thousands of members, but all the other members are former cops and law enforcement personnel. At least until after Brad joined. I think now there may be one or two others who are active members of law enforcement and l.e.a.p at the same time. But that's always been, people have always been concerned that if you're in l.e.a.p while you're a sitting cop, you'd be harassed. And but stories, of course, have been sort of quietly trickling out of Epping PD of harassment against Jardis, and that's the alleged reason he's a member of l.e.a.p. Now that the story is about to go public before the Epping elected government, those of us who were collecting information from Jardis off the record are now able to go a little bit more on the record with it. You will probably see coverage of this issue in the Union Leader by October 21st at the latest, so check their site to find out what's going on in more detail. Or look at the video description on this clip. I'll probably put a link there to the freekeen.com discussion. Why is it that hundreds of liberty lovers have moved and continue to move to New Hampshire? In part, it's because of the Free State Project's First 1,000 pledge.
The success of that pledge gave this man an idea. Max Abramson of New Hampshire is starting what he calls the Next 1,000 Pledge, designed to get another 1,000 Free Staters into New Hampshire by 2011. To find out more, visit pledgebank.com/next1000.